Okay, so today I'm going to set out to prove that MVMT isn't quite as bad as everybody makes it out to be. I'm going to get flamed pretty hard for this one, aren't I? All right, so I'm going to be doing my first giveaway on the channel. I'm going to make you guys work for it. And the theme of this video is about watch companies like Movement Watches and Daniel Wellington. I've done a couple of videos about Movement Watches because I used to have one, and so I reviewed it. In fact, my first video that was posted on the channel was kind of about the Timex Fairfield and how it kind of looked like a Movement watch, and that's one of the reasons I bought it at one time as a gift for someone. And every time I post about Movement, I get lots of comments about how awful they are and how it's like the worst company ever. And recently it seems like on YouTube, looking at some of the other YouTubers out there, there's been more comments. It's kind of gotten more controversial and maybe blown up a little bit. So I thought it'd be fun to do a video a little bit about that. And here's what I want to do. So I think some of the criticism about Movement watches is justified. So here's my opinion on Movement watches. I think they are watches that are manufactured cheaply, obviously mass-produced. I would say they're probably quality-wise, if you're just taking just the two watches, I would say they're on par with something like Timex. Okay, so having owned both a Timex and an MVMT watch, I think they're about the same quality level and they should be priced the same. I think a Movement watch should be priced in the retail, between $60 and $80. They price them upwards of like $150. So I think they're like way overpriced. And knowing what I know now, I wouldn't buy one. There's other watches that I would get instead. That said, I do appreciate what they've done as far as marketing, and I understand that factors a lot into the cost of what you're paying, and what you're paying for when you get one is the brand recognition, which is good. Among people who aren't watch enthusiasts, Movement watches are very popular. And so if you own a Movement watch, it's something that people will recognize, and people want to pay money for that. And I don't have a huge problem with that. It's not, I think they're marketing to a different group of the population. But here's one claim that I think a lot of the YouTubers are making that I've seen that I completely disagree with, and that's when they say that the MVMT watches, they're the exact same watches you can go out on AliExpress and find for like $5. They have the same materials, the same build quality. It's the exact same thing. So they're claiming that Movement is charging $150 for what is essentially like a $1 watch, some of them will say, or a $3 watch. And they'll show links to similar looking watches on AliExpress. So this is a contest. I want you guys to prove that to me, okay? So the giveaway is going to be for a far superior watch. We're giving out this Casio. Again, this is one I haven't gotten around to reviewing yet. I picked it up here in Japan. It is the #1 rated watch on Amazon.com for sales. So I'm going to be doing a review on why it's so popular here in a little bit. But you can win this watch, and I'll probably throw in a couple of other goodies if I can find some other cool stuff here in Japan. If you can find me that watch on AliExpress or GearBest, and it is going to go to someone. So to enter this contest, first you do need to subscribe to the channel, so please subscribe. And then second, you're going to need to leave a comment below with a link to another watch that you think is as good as an MVMT or Daniel Wellington watch. And I'm going to be grading those on a point system, okay? So there'll be 5 possible points you can get. If you meet all 5 points, if you meet all 5 points, you're the winner. If you're the only one to find one that meets all 5. If there's more than one person who gets all 5 points on the watch they submit, whichever watch is the cheapest is the winner. So let's look at the specs for an MVMT watch first to see what we're going for. So this is the MVMT watch that I used to own. This is the MVMT 40 series. And that watch, it has a stainless steel case, okay? Full stainless steel case. It has a Japanese Miyota movement. It has a genuine leather band. It has applied markers and a pretty nice looking build quality, I would say. Mineral crystal, all that. So that's what we're looking for, something like that. And so I'm going to award points based on how many of those criteria you guys can hit. So here's the points, okay? 1 point if the watch that you submit has an all stainless steel case. Now I'm going to make you guys work a little bit for this one, because if you go look on a lot of these websites, they're going to say that the case is made out of stainless steel on a lot of these Chinese sites. But if you actually get a shot of the case back, most of the time it's going to say stainless steel back. And what that means is that the case itself isn't really stainless steel. The case is made out of some cheap alloy material that's been plated. And that's what the majority of these watches are. So I want you to find one that is a genuine stainless steel case. So in order for you to qualify to get that point, I need a shot of the case back of that watch that says all stainless steel on it. And there are some out there. Or like a reputable review where someone has said, yeah, this is an actual stainless steel. I'll take that as well. So you need to find me a watch that has an all stainless steel case. Second, a Japanese movement. Okay, I don't want a Chinese movement in there. I want an actual genuine Japanese movement. The MVMT watches, they have a Miyota movement, but I'll settle for any Japanese movement, and that one will be a little bit more lenient on. Third, genuine leather band, no synthetic leather. So you get a point for each of those. So 1 point for stainless steel, 1 point for a Japanese movement, 1 point for a leather band. Fourth, it has to look like kind of that MVMT or Daniel Wellington style, which is the sort of minimalist look, so kind of similar in that. And that's mostly going to be, opinion based, but I'll try and be lenient on that. If it looks totally different, if it looks nothing like an MVMT, you don't get the point for that. But if it looks, kind of a dress watch, minimalist dress watch style, I'll give you guys a point for that. And then fifth, 5 points. So the final point is it has to be priced at under $20. Okay, priced at under $20, and you get a point for that. So there's 5 possible points. If you find me a watch that meets all 5 of those criteria, and if you're the only one who finds it, you win the prize. If there are multiple watches that hit all 5 of those criteria, if you can find multiple ones, it's going to go whichever one's the cheapest. Okay, so the tiebreaker is price, cheapest. Whoever posts that watch first in the comments is the winner. And what I'm going to do is, if we can find one of these, if we can find a 5-point watch, so it meets all of those and it's under $20, I'll go ahead and buy it and I'll review it and I'll tell you what I think if it is like as good as the MVMT watch that I used to have. I don't even have it anymore. I did wind up selling it and picking up an Orient Bambino instead, which is what I kind of wish I would have done in the first place, and if I could do it over, I would have. But again, it was the MVMT watch that I bought that really got me interested in watches, and so I don't really regret buying it, because if I hadn't, I'd still be wearing a smart watch and checking my cell phone for everything. So I do appreciate that their marketing kind of got me into the world of watches, and even though I had to pay a premium to get in, and knowing what I know now, I would do it differently. I'm not bitter about it or anything. So all that said, go on out there. We're going to leave this contest open for 2 weeks. So after 2 weeks, we'll close it, and then I'm going to go, we'll find the top 5 watches or so. I'll do another video looking at each one of those. And again, if we found any of them that was a 5-pointer, the winning one, I'm going to go ahead and purchase it, and we'll do a review of it, check it out, and see if there really is out there this watch that is like this Chinese special that's exactly the same as an MVMT or a Daniel Wellington, but only for like $5. And if there is, that's great. I'd be curious to see it. But I've been looking, and I have had a hard time finding a watch that meets all those criteria for the prices. So I kind of think that a lot of those YouTubers out there, they're sort of, they're missing out on that 1 point. Their other criticisms are completely valid, but on that 1 point, when they say, yeah, you can find the exact same Chinese watch for $3 or $5 or whatever, as an MVMT using the same materials and the same quality, I don't think so, because again, I've had one and it's different. I've bought other Chinese watches, and they're not at the same quality. They're usually using like an alloy case. They're usually using Chinese movements. A lot of times they'll even have synthetic leather bands, and they'll be really cheap, but it'll be because they are using cheaper materials. And I don't think MVMT, you can fault them just for their materials. So that's my opinion on that. But yeah, prove me wrong, and you can win the watch. You can win a couple other goodies from Japan that I'll throw in there. And I think this will be kind of a fun contest. I hope lots of people enter. To be qualified to win, you do have to subscribe as well. So please hit the subscription button if you are interested. And yeah, we'll leave this up for 2 weeks, and then we'll do a follow-up and see what you guys come up with. So again, I want to see lots of them. So even if you can't, even if you can only find one that meets 2 or 3 of the categories, put the link down below. Let's see what the best ones we can find are, and we'll try and find the ultimate low budget, equivalent of an MVMT or Daniel Wellington watch, and put it out there and see what the internet says. So please enjoy the first giveaway we got. Happy hunting, and let me know what you guys get. We'll talk to you later.